everybody, welcome back, welcome in. Thanks for dropping in one more time. Thanks for hitting the download button, and thanks for telling a friend. We love it when you share and when you tell a friend. I'm Pastor Dave. Sitting with me, Randall the Armor Bearer. Gretchen has joined us this week for reasons I'll explain here just momentarily. Not that she needs a reason, but we were a little concerned about how things might go today. We'll get into that in just a moment. So who is that? That's Dave and Randall and Gretchen, and we are
They That Believe.
So you want to start and tell them, Gretchen, tell everybody what our day looked like today?
Oh, it was interesting when we went to the dentist and Dave got drugged up and got some work done.
No, he didn't.
No. Oh, you didn't?
I'm not on any drugs, no.
Oh, okay. Well.
See, look.
Actually, the worst part was sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, well, let's start there. My appointment was for 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to get there early. Now, Gretchen went with me or took me because I wasn't really sure what condition I was going to be. And we did talk about it in here when I was considering on going and not sure. I didn't think that I would have to get any kind of sedation or anesthetic or anything like that. But I also didn't know, just even without that, what kind of condition that I might be in.
They still put the numbing stuff in there, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
We'll get to that.
I was going to say.
We'll get to that.
You're tougher than I thought. If they
But I didn't know what condition I would be in, and probably would have been okay to go by myself. But in any event, the appointment is for 10, and we got over there nice and early, about 20 till, quarter till, about 15, 20 minutes early, because this is my first visit there, and you have to fill out your history and have you ever had herpes and have you ever had AIDS and all that kind of stuff. So I had to check.
As a dentist, I'd want to know before I stuck my hand in your mouth, whatever you might have had.
It's a lot of them. They pretty much run through everything. And, and then you get weird ones like, do you have or have you ever had? And there was one like chest pains. Now, who can say that they've never had a chest pain?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you know what they're getting at. They want to make sure that if you have a heart attack in there or something like that. But then I'm thinking, who would really check no? Because I almost wanted to check no, and then I thought, well, I've had chest pains, and like pain in the joint in your jaws and stuff. And you know what they're getting at, but it didn't seem right to hit no. So
I think at a certain age, they should just assume that because like the other day I was throwing the football around with Madeline, and it was like my arm was killing me when I got through it, and I couldn't make out like it was. I had to be at cool, But man, my arm was tore up after it.
I did that the other day. We were having the fish fry for the church, and when I showed up out there, the kids were outside throwing a football. And I walked over to them first, and they tossed me the football, and I was like, no, I'm not any good at football, and I haven't touched one in, my goodness, probably 30 years. And I gave it a throw, and it was pretty good. It really was. It was a heck of a good pass, and they were like, whoa, look at Brother Dave, and all this. Well, about 3 or 4 of those. Yeah. Whoo, my arm started to hurt. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, that's enough now that I've impressed everyone. Yeah, so we get there 15, 20 minutes early to fill out the paperwork. The appointment's at 10. And it doesn't take long now to do that. You don't have to fill out as much information. Yeah. They mostly have all that stuff, they can call or get through the computer, and they can do it much more quickly. So it didn't take just a few minutes to check those boxes. And so then we sit and wait. And right after we had come in, someone else comes in, and they're sitting and waiting too. I'm guessing they scheduled us both for 10. That's the only thing I can figure out. Either that or this person was really late or early, but it looked like they were on time. It was an hour and 10 minutes later before I moved from the lobby. An hour and 10 minutes. So at 11:10, they came and called my name. So I get up and go on back, come in here and sit in this chair, and the chair was it looks like a lounge chair or a deck chair or something. It's reclined, and then it's got a hump for your knees or your hips, and then it goes anyway. So I climb up in that, and she's like, well, he'll be right in. No, first they had to do a quick x-ray of my mouth and stuff, but that took 2 minutes. So then I go in there, sit down, and I'm waiting. She comes in about 10, 15 minutes. Okay, he'll be right in. She comes back about 10 or 15 minutes later. Okay, he'll be right in. I sat in that chair waiting for the dentist another hour. So somewhere about 10 or 15 after 12 at this point. Now I'm 2 hours in. Mm-hmm. Haven't even seen the dentist. Don't even know him yet. And here's what else is going on. Now, Gretchen couldn't hear this out in the lobby. They have music playing. They have music going on. And the first thing I observed is it was really loud. As I walked through you go through the door from the lobby area into the secure treatment area, and the music was really loud, and it was like some classic rock. And the lady was talking to me, telling me, okay, we're going to go down to this room and do that. I was like, huh? What? Okay. So
you got to drown out the sound of the drills and the screaming.
Mm-hmm.
The
there wasn't anybody there. And they had, I don't know how many, 20 rooms. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculous for a small dental office. They had ridiculous rooms. And to be honest, no, in between like the music and stuff, it was just as quiet. It wasn't anything. Mm-hmm. So no, it wasn't that. Maybe it's normally noisy. I don't know. It struck me as really odd, and the music choices. I'll get into that in just a sec. So anyway, I'm shouting over the music, trying to understand her. It's like we're at the club. You want another drink? What? Okay, me too. Whatever. So she sits me in the chair. So I'm in there waiting another hour because I had turned my phone off and put it in my pocket. I didn't want my phone buzzing or ringing or vibrating. And I had like 2 different opportunities to pick it up and turn it back on. At one point, I turned it on, sent her a message out in the lobby. I said, I haven't seen the dentist yet. I'm still sitting in the chair. So I thought maybe she had to go run some errands or something. Then I'm thinking about getting home because I'm like, well, Nathan will be home at 3. We closed the garage door and he can't get in, So I'm like, I'm burning calories doing this whole thing in my head about, well, maybe we can send Randall a message and he can go with him and he can take Nate until we get out of here. I'm 2 hours in and haven't done anything. So I'm already, and we're, 25, 30 miles from home. So, and that's the way my mind works. I'm always planning for every possible scenario. I'm always concerned. So 2 hours in, he comes in, takes a quick look at my mouth, charts out the teeth in there, has a good chuckle about how bad it all is. My mouth is a dumpster fire.
Hilarious to him.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, well, we're going to take him down to this other room.
Oh, no, he's looking in there going, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Probably.
I see that you've got a new set of ping golf clubs and a new golf cart in there.
Yeah. There's a new diamond bracelet for the wife, and a PlayStation for the kids, and he can finally have that speedboat.
Oh, by the time we left, he added up about $10,000 worth of stuff. So.
Oh, it wasn't that much. What?
It was $9,900 something.
He gave you drugs, you just didn't know it.
I'm sorry. Maybe it was 900. Sorry.
It was it was close to 1,000. Yeah. I was like, no, it wasn't easy there. For entertainment purposes, we do exaggerate on here a little bit sometimes.
Just a tad.
You remember we were talking last week about the math and how we figure out the pay gap and all that. See, there's how that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait a minute. No. What did I say? 10? No, it's just 1,000. Yeah, but it probably, after we finish, it wasn't 1,000 today. It's going to be over the course of time because, I meant to go out there and get my sheet that has all my proposed work. He gave me a proposal for all my dental work. I told the story about having the milk dud that pulled out the the filling.
We've tracked this from the beginning. From day one, we've been involved in your dental problems.
And I was given strict instructions. The last thing I heard going out the door was no milk duds.
No milk duds.
So what I got today was a temporary filling, which now the tooth, and actually while he was doing it, somebody else in their office came in and looked in and started chuckling because from what I was gathering, it was one of those things where like whatever he was putting in there or was filling in and replacing and sculpting with, there was more of that than there was tooth. Because the person was like, is there any tooth there to work with? And he's like, we'll see. So it's mostly, whatever's there is not even mostly tooth. It's probably
enamel or dentin or whatever.
It's 2/3 of spackle and cold mix. And he did that on one, and the one that we knew was bad. And the one right underneath it, he was able to bore out and put in a little bit in there too. So here's what else we have coming up. Now these are not things that we did today, but things that will be done.
These are things you have to look forward to in the future.
Yeah. It hit you in the mouth and the pocketbook. Root canal therapy.
I saw that. That was crazy.
What is root canal therapy?
Root canal therapy. It sounds a whole lot better than what it probably is.
Okay. Prefab, post and core, and add to crown. That may be what they did today. I don't know. Then a porcelain crown fused to base metal. Resin to surface posterior. That I don't know. That maybe that's just fillings. Would that be the resin?
Maybe.
Resin 2 surfaces interior. Resin 1 surface anterior. Resin 1 surface posterior. Resin 1 surface posterior. There's 2 entries for those. So I'm going to get some resin on my posterior.
Sounds like you had a large posterior there.
So yeah, total it all adds up to $955. Now that's not what I paid today, or we'll pay in one sitting, but we're going to do this over the course of time. So where was I in this story? So yeah, okay. So the music is playing and it's really loud, and if this were a radio station, I would fire the program director. And you go, wow, did they not play music you like? That's not it. I'm trying to remember kind of the sequence. The first thing I heard was like George Harrison, like I Got My Mind Set on You. Was it him or the Traveling Wilburys?
Yes.
Whoever did, that annoying song. Yeah. I got my mind set on you. And it's
over and over.
You're right. Yeah. And there was a couple of those, like what I would call a classic rock. And then Luther Vandross came in. And not just that, but going, chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yeah.
Where am I?
That's one of those that got programmed by a computer or something. Yeah.
It's April. And then there was like a full-on gospel song behind that, which was like with funky bass and like 100 people in the choir. You know what I'm talking about. And it was full-on gospel. Until He Comes or something like that. And like a Dionne Warwick. And then a Nickelback song. And
they're hitting all the genres there.
It was crazy. And loud. So I'm thinking, whose office am I in? What kind of dentist is listening to Luther and gospel and Nickelback and
whatever that was his private playlist.
George Harrison. Like then when he comes in to start sticking needles in my mouth, Betty Davis Eyes comes on and he's poking me in the gums with a needle and I'm gripping the side of the thing and he's singing. He's in my mouth and he's singing. She's got Betty Davis Eyes and with the needle in. Oh. I'm like, what? Like the Hellraiser movie. Like I'd opened a puzzle box.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was so surreal and strange.
And then all of a sudden your mouth is numb and there's some guy reaching in there to get stuff.
So he comes in when I finally see him and he looks in there. Then he moves me, go up the hall to another office. And I sat there for another half hour almost. It was right at 3 hours by the time I came walking out.
They got to let that medicine set in there.
I'd had a few naps while I was sitting out there. And it wasn't any better when I was out there because on the TV there were TV shows that you wouldn't even pick if you were.
Oh, I got stuck. I had to do a IVIG treatment one time, which is like 5 days in the hospital. Like you go up to the chemo lounge and you get this infusion. And they had Matlock on 8 hours a day for 5 days. I really was ready to go insane the last day.
What you got against Matlock?
I love Matlock.
Just not a marathon of it.
8 hours a day, 5 days. That's 40 straight hours of Matlock is a bit much.
Matlock overdose.
Yeah.
So what was the experience out there? Did you go out there? Did you go do anything? I thought maybe you would.
I should have because I really needed to, but no, I sat out there. I actually, me and Nate have an appointment for later. And so I filled out our paperwork. I took a couple naps. I tried to ignore what was on TV because it was just driving me crazy.
And then when he finally comes in and I see him for the first time, He says, yeah, sorry about you having to wait. I'm just trying to get out of here. I got a funeral to go to. I got to leave town or something. He goes into this whole thing about, and then I'm thinking, well, if you're in such a big hurry, why are you
just wait?
Why are you getting so backed up? And why do they do that? I mean, 10 or 15 minutes, even 20, even maybe 30 minutes, I can almost understand. But my goodness, an hour?
Yeah, I will say though they have gotten better lately at the scheduling. Because the last couple of times I've been to the doctor, it's been, within 20 minutes of my appointment time. But before you would wait hours and hours and you'd sit there and you'd watch people go in and come out and go in and come out.
Well, and the people, the lady that came in behind us and she brought somebody else with her too, and they brought a baby. Mm-hmm. Why? Then they're up walking around and walking in front of me, trying to burp that baby, patting it on the back. Come on. And they're walking back and forth to me, and I'm like, and I'm trying to watch Wendy Williams on the TV and whatever was on TV. I don't know. I don't even know who that is, but she was on TV. Like, Gretchen, who is that? I don't know that she knew, but why do you bring people? And if you're one of those people that takes a baby everywhere, would you not? I cannot stand people that bring babies everywhere.
Seems like somebody could watch it.
I mean, I don't have an objection to your baby, and I don't, but just when there's obviously no, I mean, she's going to hold the baby while the guy's checking her teeth.
Yeah, you notice I was checking the baby's teeth. He probably didn't have any yet.
No, it was, I mean, I picked up quickly that
it was newborn.
Yeah, I picked up very quickly.
Apparently, the lady that was going back there was the mama, and you can't separate a newborn from her mama.
Yeah, you can. But
now I could see, like, because when you're pregnant, I don't think you can get any dental work done. So if she had something that was really bugging her for 9 months, and then to finally,
wasn't she pregnant?
No, that was a newborn, so that was still.
No, I was thinking she was too.
I don't think so.
Okay, so he moved me to the other room and sat there for another half hour, and then he finally came in. He started sticking with the needle, and I get the impression this guy's a good dentist. He's an older guy. When he's working with a speed and an efficiency that comes with years of experience. I mean, I didn't get the sense like he didn't know what he was doing.
Right.
Because he's talking in code and, you get for the ROM and schedule you for this and that. And I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's doing. And I do wish though, before he enters the mouth to do something that he would tell me what he's doing.
I don't know, because sometimes if you're like prepared for something, it makes it worse. Like you may flinch or something.
It just seemed more appropriate to me because it was just like, open your mouth, and he stuck a wedge or a jack in there to keep my mouth open, and he just went to work. And and I'm kind of putting my eyes down, trying to kind of see, but I have no idea what's going on, or help me be part of the experience.
That's the great thing about the dentist; you never know what he's doing in there. Like
is that? Like, so that's a common thing then? Is that?
Well,
I don't want to know.
Yeah, you can't see, but like. Every now and then I feel like there's a clamp on something, and then sometimes you feel like there's something scratching something, but you don't know what it is. You ever try to think what the tool is they're using? Mm-hmm. Like, what is that?
Yeah, because of the numbness, you can't really tell.
Well, he had to, and there's all kinds of infection and stuff too, so I had to get antibiotics, and so he's up above the tooth, like actually on the gum, and he starts pushing down. He goes, "That hurt?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What about this side? Even more. And what should one do when one feels that infection and painful swelling in the gums? Let's stick a needle in it. So he grabs the needle to deaden the area with the local anesthetic. Well, the first thing he does was stick the Q-tip in. I guess lidocaine is what it is. It tastes like black jelly beans. I hate it. I wanted to throw up so bad. But I know it's for my own good, though.
How many times a dentist has gotten thrown up on? As a dentist, I wonder if that's like a common thing.
I would think.
My gosh.
I would think.
Because I've come close a couple of times, but I've never actually done it. I wonder.
And I'm being facetious. I mean, I didn't feel nauseous, but there's just a handful of things in this world that the very thought of kind of makes me.
Black licorice.
Yeah. The taste of black jelly beans or whatever it is. And it's everything they put in that lidocaine. Like when my tooth started hurting. Made Gretchen get me at the store. You can buy store-bought lidocaine and like a little pen or a little applicator to put on it. And I just dreaded. I got to where I would almost take the pain because that taste is so gross. Yeah. It is so vulgar. So he did that. He wipes it on one side, and then he sticks it up in between my cheek and my gum and lets it sit there, because now all he's doing is preparing that part to get the needle, which is to prepare the other parts.
Was he shaking your cheek to distract you?
He was.
Yeah.
He had like his thumb on it.
Yeah.
He was jostling my cheek with his thumb, and and I'm like, I can see through that trick, buddy. You know what I mean?
I'm not 5 anymore. I know what you're doing.
He just doesn't want you to know that the needle went all the way through the gum.
Like I see your lips moving, Jeff. At that point, I'm in on the trick. You're a bad magician because I spotted your misdirection.
I would love to see behind the scenes at like dental school what they teach them. Like, okay, today's class is.
Do they teach that trick?
Yeah.
Or is that one of those that you pick up on the street along the way from the older experience from your
could be
your veteran dentist?
Yeah.
Go, well, they won't teach you this in dental school.
Watch
but
this. I'm going to shake his cheek.
Put that thumb over there and start jostling that cheek. You'll have a much easier time.
Them
trust
jowls.
me.
Jostle them jowls.
Yeah, right. And when that needle hit that gum, and it's not just when it's when it gets in a little bit, and he hit something, and a couple of times, because he had to go on both sides, and I grunted. I went, and he pulled it out, and he went over the other side, and he stuck going, and he started laughing at me. He said, "I only hit you once, but you grunted twice." But I, you want to be a trooper. I want to be a tough guy. I don't want to be crying and weeping in there. But boy, I was gripping that chair.
Could you please pick Officer Chafin up off the floor? He is.
Oh shoot, I'm going in for a cleaning next month, and I told him, I said, I'm already planning for the gas. I won't have anybody in my mouth without the gas, just even for a cleaning. So, well, I'm already getting the cleaning for that, or the gas.
I'm glad you're going. And if anybody else listening takes away nothing from this, please take care of your teeth. And I do. I don't want to give people the impression that I don't. My problem is that when the problems did arise, I let them.
Yeah.
I didn't get them repaired when I should have. They could have been small repairs and at much less painful. But folks, very honestly, if you need to tell your kids, your teeth are like your friends. If you ignore them, they will go away. So take care, please.
Have the summer teeth.
Please
summer
take
here,
care of your
summer there.
teeth.
Yeah, I was just telling Randall earlier about Nathan noticing that his friends have whiter teeth than he does.
Finally. I've
Yeah.
been saying it to him for years.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't take care of his teeth.
But he's reached that age where he's noticing and he cares.
Yeah.
So
some girls probably said something to him. He's like, oh.
Well, he did say to me, now I'm brushing every day. And I was like, you weren't before? Because when he was little, I brushed him for him. But, we try to give him some responsibilities.
It's scary when you hear that. Well, now, and he's proud of it.
Yeah, I'm brushing at least once a day now.
And I'm proud of it. So that's kind of why Gretchen was in here. I wasn't real sure, one, that I would be fit to do this today, but we didn't want to wait and not get one in the can. So I thought, well, if I know she's here and we're a little earlier than usual, it's not at her bedtime yet. I thought if we needed to, maybe you guys could carry the show. But actually, I'm feeling pretty good now. We're several hours away from this thing, and it hasn't set in yet. I shouldn't.
We'll hear about it tomorrow.
Maybe. I don't know though. After the way it's bothered me and stuff for several weeks.
This is a relief.
Maybe. Yeah. I hate what's in there now. It's well, I mean, I don't hate it. It is relief, but it feels gritty. It's like brick mortar in there. You can tell it's not permanent. It's a stopgap measure until we get you back in here. Put me on a round of antibiotics for the infection and, man, just all kinds of stuff. But the music, oh, man, I wish I could tell you some more of the music I heard. The Commodores, then followed by Led Zeppelin or what. It was strange, man. And it made me wonder, I never heard it stop, or there was never a break like it was on a streaming service or... I guess it could have been.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just his iPod on shuffle or something.
Well, yeah. That kind of makes sense.
Or Pandora One.
But I'll say this: my dentist has very eclectic tastes.
Pandora usually will keep it kind of in the same genre.
Right. You're right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can fine tune your station too, but no, this all seemed really specific. It seemed really specific. And I'm like, and I hadn't heard Dionne Warwick in 100 years. So I was kind of proud of myself. I knew who it was.
Yeah.
Singing Alfie. I was like, oh yeah, Dionne Warwick. That brought back all kinds of memories. I forgot all about her.
The psychic hotline.
If she was even still alive or not. Is she? I guess she is.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
All right, so that's why Gretchen's here. We were worried about my condition, and
That's not the only reason. We like having Gretchen here, too.
Yeah.
She keeps us in check.
yeah, of course, when she wants to, but she don't like to do it. She gets mad at us, and she thinks we make fun of her, and then it becomes harder and harder to get her to participate from time to time.
It's kind of
what
like,
do you think? I mean,
well,
am I too hard on? I guess it would mostly be me.
Yeah.
Or even if it's both of us equally, I'm still going to be viewed harsher than you.
I make fun of everybody. So
well, no, the expectation is higher on me. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, I make fun of everybody. So I try to be equal, to make everybody equally mad at me if I make fun of them.
Well, now that you're here, and she just asked me the other day, she said, let me listen to your most recent show. So I'm glad that you're here. Now you can tell us about some of these foods that Gwyneth Paltrow was trying to get us to eat. But I didn't get the sense, we didn't really talk about it at length while we were listening, but I didn't get the sense that you had much of an insight into this than we did. I know you know what the acai berries are, right?
Yeah. And I think you say acai.
Okay.
But they're for digestion. A lot of people.
For digestion. No.
Well,
things are for eating, but. No, I got you.
Everything
that
gets
would
digested.
be why you would add it to your diet, is that it's a
promotes it.
high fiber type.
Does it
think.
taste good, or does it?
Yeah, I mean, it's some people compare it to cocoa, but like with a fruity mix in it. But it's okay. It's
like
acquired.
chocolate, like cocoa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an acquired taste. It's different. It's real different.
Which means it is horrible. If you said it's an acquired taste.
As somebody said to me one time when I said that, I was like, well, it's an acquired taste. He was like, why would you eat something that you have to acquire a taste for?
So I'm going to hate it for the next year, and then I'll start to kind of not like it as bad.
And I looked at him and I had nothing.
You had nothing.
That's perfect. Well, why would you eat something that you have to acquire a taste for? Who knows? What else was on there? The bibimbap salad.
I don't know what that
is. And congee was on there.
Chia seeds, chia pets.
Yeah, well,
I've
you
seen the
explained
chia,
that.
yeah.
You explained that. Did you know that? Did you know people were eating chia pet seeds?
Yes. I saw that in some salads now these days. I actually saw the chia seeds at Walmart.
Well, yeah, I get the impression now. And it's funny, it's like a word that you don't know. And once you learn a new word, then you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Sure enough, within a day or two, I heard somebody talking about chia seeds. And he said they were awful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They tasted
I'm sure.
like garbage.
You ever seen anybody plant them in somebody's keyboard, like at work or they're on vacation? They plant the chia seeds in the keyboard, like with a wet paper towel.
Like a prank.
Yeah, and they grow up and sprout.
That worries me when we come in here that you always... You ever did this? You always follow with a prank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, years of management will do that to you. You've seen all kinds of things.
You're an office comedy waiting to happen.
Well, now, when I worked at the auto parts store, when somebody went on vacation, it was time to get to, because they're out there at sunny Bahamas while you're sitting there behind the parts counter, and, the whole week you're thinking, what can I do to this guy this week to make him just be horrible on the way back in?
You got to find ways to entertain yourself. Well, that's our big trip to the dentist, and I'm sure we'll have updates in the days that follow, and the bibimbap salad and the congee salad. No, apparently we get no answers from Gretchen today. All right, well, let me throw something else at you. I had an experience this past week, and it's one of those things, if it was somebody that I didn't know, I would probably make fun of him, but it's somebody that I like and I respect a lot, so I don't really want to make fun, but I'm going to kind of throw it out there sort of like a Dear Abby thing, but it needs some explanation.
Okay.
And first off, let me tell you about my friend. He's a university professor, and I will not use his real name. I'm going to call him Dr. Floyd. Dr. Floyd. Okay, Dr. Floyd and I have known each other for many years. I used to interview him when I was on the radio He would be involved at several things out at the university, and he would come in and do interviews with me. And he is a historian, well read, well written on, especially on civil rights issues. So he's in that pocket,
Right.
and he's in that world of social rights and social justice and civil rights. And somebody had posted on his Facebook page a picture of the actor Michael Douglas, and the joke that the person was making or said was something like they're making a movie about you. Now, I'll say this. Dr. Floyd doesn't normally look like Michael Douglas, or Michael Douglas doesn't look like Dr. Floyd. But you know how sometimes when you'll see like a picture of an actor that's taken from a right angle, or they've got just the right facial hair, they're wearing just the right outfit, and it looks in that picture. So it was that kind of thing. I don't want anybody to think, well, he looks like Michael Douglas. He really kind of doesn't. But in this picture, the way that Michael was sitting and the way his hair was, so somebody was like, oh, they're making a movie about your life. Look at this. And it did, in that picture, it did look like him. So Dr. Floyd comes behind that person, and he then makes a joke too, which is, haha, I forgot to tell you this is really happening, and I'm holding out for Sylvester Stallone. Okay. The joke being there, Dr. Floyd is a diminutive man and is nowhere near.
Probably the exact opposite.
Near Sylvester Stallone. And that's why he's making the joke. I don't say that to insult him. So I wanted to get in on the reindeer games. So I decided to jump in on the joke as well. And I put in another comment that said, nah, don't hedge your bets. You should go full Denzel. He should get Denzel Washington. Now, if you haven't figured out from the previous suggestions of Michael Douglas and Sylvester Stallone, Dr. Floyd is not black. He's in fact white. But of course, unlike Stallone, he's not a bodybuilder. He's not Italian. He's not Jewish. Is Michael Douglas Jewish? I was thinking he was. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I think, aren't they Hispanic or something?
The Douglases?
What
You're
that-
thinking of like Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Not Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas.
So,
I am
a few minutes later, I get this message from Dr. Scratch that. Dr. Floyd. I just said his name, yeah. Dave, I did take down the Denzel post. I'm reading you verbatim what he wrote me. I did take down the Denzel post. I wanted you to understand. I don't have a strong justification for this, only a discomfort. Okay? You with me so far? It was a discomfort. You can write me off as one of those soft-hearted liberals, but I just believe that the history of race in this country is too fraught with hazards for me to ignore the possibility that comment would have in some way offended someone. Now, I love this guy, and we have this kind of relationship. I love that a lot of people I do it all the time. I delete stuff. I don't tell them. I'm not going to give somebody the courtesy of it. So, I love the guy, and I appreciate that. It bugged him enough. He wanted to explain to me. Honestly, because it was something I did very quickly as I'm kind of scrolling through. Type something here. Type something here. If he'd have not mentioned it, I would have never known.
Right.
It wasn't like I'm going to go back and look.
3 years ago, you deleted a post I put on one of your pages.
But he wanted to tell me, so he said, I don't have a strong justification for this, only a discomfort. That's what motivated him. You can write me off as one of those soft-hearted liberals. So I want people to know our relationship so they hear it in that voice. They don't hear it as, well, you may just think I'm one of the... This is not that. This is not that. But I believe the history of race in the country is too fraught with hazards for me to ignore the possibility that the comment would have in some way offended someone.
How do you spell fraught? I never even thought about it. How do you spell fraught?
Fraught. Kind of like caught.
Yeah.
I don't mind people insulting me on my page. It's happened quite a lot recently, and he's not talking about me. It's because he posts some garbage about Bernie Sanders all the time. So you bring that on yourself, buddy.
Pro or anti-Bernie?
Oh, what do you think? Given what I've read to you already, what do you think?
Well, he could have been a Hillary supporter, and
Let's just assume that he probably is. Let's assume that he probably is. Okay, so he's been insulted a lot lately, but I have to act even when I'm, listen to this. I have to act even if I'm not sure anyone would find a comment they might deem offensive on my page. You getting the tone of this? Just because there's a possibility. And then he says some stuff kind of for me and him. It's clear you and I have some differences. I'm hoping we can discuss and, and again, this is a good dude. He is a good dude. He and I have that kind of relationship. I don't want anybody to think. If I'm doing anything, if I'm opening anything up for mocking, it's not him. It's this social think. Yeah. And he's not the only one. Mm-hmm. Oh, and he says, I know. Wait a minute, let me back up. I was unsure in how others would interpret what you said, and being unsure, in this case, was enough. Just the uncertainty. It's all very...
He puts a lot of thought into his Facebook posts. That's a lot of thought.
Well, this is a private message.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he puts a lot of thought into
That's what, yeah. Yeah, he's really worried that the mere mention of Denzel's name is enough to hurt somebody's feeling, and just on the off chance that it might, and he uses words like discomfort or being uncertain, so in this case that was enough, and he says, I know you had no intention of offending me or anyone, and which certainly did not. And I told him too where that comes from, and the reason I went to that Denzel so quickly. I've used that in the past, mostly about myself, like when we have that movie of your life, who should play you, everybody kind of kicks their answer, and I go Denzel, and everybody has a big laugh. Yeah. For many reasons. And it's interesting that you immediately go to race. And here's one of the reasons, or some of the reasons I'm okay using him as the example, because I love him. You know what I mean? I would not use an actor that, or somebody that Gretchen recently figured out she didn't know who he was. Flavor Flav. She was like, who are they talking about? She pulled up a picture of her. Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav.
You want to marry Flavor Flav now, don't you?
The big clock around his neck. Yeah.
So, and I said this to him, just a joke, which he understood. I've actually used it about myself in the past, and because I think he's one of the best of our time, it's certainly not at his expense. I'm not mocking Denzel. That would be absurd. And I'd put him ahead of Stallone and Douglas for sure. You know what I mean? Of all the ones that and I told Dr. Floyd, I said, heck, he could play the shark from Jaws as far as I'm concerned. And I told him, no need to apologize for policing your own posts either, because I don't. Yeah. If it's gone, it's gone. I mean, if you want to ask me why, that's fine, but I'm not going to give you this big, long message.
Give you a 3-page letter.
I need to tell you why I had to remove that post. I just wasn't sure, and just on the off chance that maybe somebody could have been, that I just couldn't risk it. I couldn't risk it.
On a very special episode of As Facebook Turns.
Like sands through the hourglass. So, anyway, and let me push down just a little bit more on Denzel, because I love him. I mean, you can say his name and you get his image in your mind, and I guarantee you 8 out of 10 people, when they have that image in their mind, they see that single tear. Denzel is the master of that single tear, how he can look right down the barrel of the camera and just squeeze that single tear out of his eye. It's magic. I mean, I think he's awesome. I've been a fan of his since, like, going back to when I was in college. Remember Virtuosity with Russell Crowe?
That was a good movie.
That's a deep pull right there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Denzel. I know about Denzel. I was there for Virtuosity. Where were you? Anyway.
What did he do before Virtuosity? He was in a bunch of stuff before then, though.
Probably. That's just the first one. Like, when I think back, like, when did I first know who he was? Yeah. And even then, I remember watching it going, this guy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And even Russell Crowe was a little bit more well-known than him at the time. He wasn't quite Russell Crowe yet either. But, it opens the door to go back if you wanted to get in a debate. And I didn't with him. I mean, he articulated himself to me very well. And I told him I understood, sort of. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but I don't understand. For one, let me just ask you, assume maybe this type of exchange is happening on your page. I mean, are you concerned if I jump in and go, you should get Denzel to play you? One, are you concerned about that post? Is it racist? Could it be offensive? And secondly, I have a 2-part question. I hate when people do that, but I'm doing it. is there one that somebody could say, if Denzel wasn't offensive, what would be?
I mean, I would try to get you back. If you said Denzel, I would try to find something else.
One up me.
Yeah, I would try to, who would be the most opposite of Dave that I could find, Mm-hmm. I'd be like, who am I thinking of?
And the best he could do for himself was Stallone, which is kind of a, mine was much more clever.
Yes. Yes. Oh, what about that Chloe Grace Moretz girl?
I like her.
That should be who plays Dave in his life story.
I could identify as her, maybe. No, she's a good one. Yeah, no, I don't think she could play me, but
she doesn't have the depth to play.
I don't. They can't make a fake a mustache good enough to get an Oscar for that. But here's my thing, man. And again, if you know Dr. Floyd and you know the circles that he runs in, because given his life's work and his academic work, I don't even look through his friends list, but most of the people he comes into contact with nationally known civil rights leaders and stuff. Right. And you know what? Now that I'm kind of sitting here working that through, maybe I can almost give him a pass, because the people that are looking at it in his feed are not the people looking at it in your feed.
Right.
And he even has introduced me and a lot of people in this community to some very well-known and very nationally recognized figures in the civil rights movement. But still, even all that given, here's my thing. Even assuming he's right, I would rather, since he does understand the spirit that it was given and offered, he does know that and knows there was no reason to offend. I would prefer that he not play into the victimization, not allow it to offend, and if, hypothetically, if for some reason somebody had a problem with it, that he would stand up for it and explain it. Oh, you don't know Dave. Let me explain to you. He thinks Denzel Washington hangs the moon. He's seen Training Day 20 times. Yeah. He did not intend that as some kind of, the joke was not at the expense of race.
Would you put that on Al Sharpton's page if you were friends with Al Sharpton on Facebook?
That's a strange place to go.
Because out of all the civil rights people and stuff, I feel like he's the one who takes things the furthest out of context out of all of them.
Yeah, well, I'm not really talking about folks in his ilk. More people that really are movers and shakers in the movement and stuff. I don't know. He's a clown.
Yeah,
he's clown shoes to me. So I don't know anything you would see there if you'd know to take it seriously or not. And this is more about a relationship between me and a friend.
Right.
If it was a stranger, I would sit here and probably mock and this is where we are. That's what I say all the time. This is where we are now, and this is who. But it's not that I don't get it, and it's not that he doesn't get it, where I'm coming from. The question is, or to me, is like, why be so willing to just give in to all that, even when you know it's not offensive, it's not intended to be offensive, there's nothing offensive about it. Why go ahead and give in to it just on the off chance?
I don't know.
I mean, some things are patently offensive.
Yeah.
If you use a racial epithet or something like that. But this had nothing to do with it, and I didn't intend for it to be about race. Other than part of the joke, yes, is, he's of a different race, and just much more handsome. I mean, have we covered that I like the guy?
Poor Dr. Floyd.
Right. Somebody else thought he looked like Michael Douglas, and the best he could do for himself was Sylvester
Stallone. Yeah,
I was willing to give him Denzel. You'd think he'd go, yeah, I'll take that, buddy. I'll take that with the single tear. And he didn't, like I said, did not need to apologize to me for policing his own Facebook page. I just wish that we weren't so worried and about other people being so delicate. Because it wasn't him. He was not bothered by it. He was worried that someone else might.
Yeah.
And for that reason alone, he just wanted to sanitize it completely. So my thing is, should we stop feeding that thing?
Oh, yeah.
And kind of get back to just basic, honest communication like he and I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy now, the stuff where people have to have safe spaces and you can't say words that might trigger them and,
Not even language.
Yeah.
Diversity of ideas. Mm-hmm. Diversity of thought, of speech, to be able to sit and do something like this and talk, and even though we don't really all have diverse ideas here. But of all things, that's the one that they want to suppress.
Yeah, I remember.
You can't come to my campus. If we know you're going to say this, we're going to shut you down. We're going to shut down your hate speech, and we're not going to. And it's like, that's the diversity that we need. If we're at a place in society where we're not even willing to entertain or hear diversity in speech, then I don't know that we've gained any ground anywhere.
Right.
If it just to the point people will protest depending on what kind of speaker comes to a college campus, to a public college campus.
Right.
They don't even want them to come. We're going to protest. We're going to shut you down. You don't have a right to be here. I mean, it's absurd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think? You've been sitting over there playing on your phone. You contribute nothing.
I don't get into politics.
Is that what is this politics?
Yep.
She's just here to make sure we don't make fun of her.
Yeah. Well, we can move on to something else. Do you have any thoughts about Denzel? You like Denzel? He's cool, isn't he?
Yeah, I like Denzel.
He's a good-looking man. I like
Good
Denzel.
actor.
He could play the shark from Jaws. They ever make a remake Jaws of him?
Bruce is Denzel.
We've talked even before about him casting, the strange casting choices or racial casting choices. Denzel's Batman, I'd watch that. I'd watch that, buddy. He'd be good. Can you see that single tear rolling out from the cowl? Martha. Martha won't die tonight. Single tear. Denzel. What else do we need? Where else do we need to go? What do you need to talk about while you're here?
I don't know.
Yeah. She's really engaged. Yeah. She's been over there on her phone the whole time.
Should we bring up the note? I mean, should we just the elephant in the room?
The bread note.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen any more. You may want.
Yeah,
do you want to explain yourself or what's the word I'm looking for? Not defend yourself, but make your own case.
There is an explanation. Yes.
Okay.
Most of the notes are for Nathan because I hardly see him half the time, and so whenever I see it, I put a note on it.
Well, let's back up so everybody understands. It's been several weeks since we talked about it. There was a note left on the Wonder Bread that said, because I took the end piece, again, thinking I was doing something noble, because nobody wants to eat the end piece. I hear my voice getting dry. I need to get some water in my dental mouth. Okay, thank you. I had taken the end piece. Gretchen puts the big nasty note on the bread. Said, don't take the end piece because the bread gets crumbly and it ruins the whole loaf. I don't remember everything it said, but
we decided it was 72-point angry font. Angry was the
72
font.
angry font. Yeah,
72
in red.
Red.
Yeah,
in red. So that being said, you kind of felt like you got a bad rap on that. That it wasn't just something you thought up on your own. That's what we needed to know. You actually said it came from a specific complaint that Nathan.
Yes. Teenagers are just brainless, and half the time, if I tell him not to do something, I forgot. So if I leave these notes, then he doesn't forget. He has no way to forget. And, so it's ranged from a note on his bedroom door, don't eat or drink in here. And then the bread, he had complained about why does the bread get crumbly? And I'm like, 'cause somebody keeps taking this end piece out. And then I found that end piece out again, and I had to put that note on there.
Somebody, Dave, keeps taking the end piece.
I
thought it was him. I didn't realize it was you.
I thought I was doing it for my family, for the benefit of my family.
And then in your last podcast, you're complaining about all the sodas disappearing. So I made a deal with him that he was supposed to drink 1 bottle of water before he drank any sodas. Did he remember? No. So I put another note up and said 1 bottle of water equals 1 can of pop.
I didn't lay that at your feet either. I think it was clear. I didn't accuse Gretchen of drinking all the sodas or anything like that.
That was a Nate specific problem.
Oh, well, tonight he came home and I said, now remember, because the note's gone. I said, remember that it's 1 bottle of water before a can of pop. That boy won't. He went and got milk. He is not going to drink water. So I said, nope. I said water. So he ran and got a bottle of water and sucked it down and then drank his pop.
And Johnny Cash, was that when he was at San Quentin? You have a drink of water? Is that water, Bob? Is that water? Well, yeah, that's water.
I ain't never had to drink no yellow water like y'all got here.
Very quickly before we leave, let me tell you about a couple of good movies I saw on Netflix. Yeah, they're both on Netflix if you're in the mood for something to watch, if you want a recommendation.
I watched 60 Days, too.
Yeah, okay.
60 days in.
Yeah.
Are you caught up, or did you just catch a couple episodes?
I didn't watch the very last one, but
they're 5 or 6 in now, or 6 or 7.
Robert. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You see him in his meditation
Poor
retreat.
feller. Yeah.
Yeah, now what he's doing, that goober, he's faking like he's sick because he don't want to leave. He don't want to go back to Gen Pop.
Yeah.
And the captain that's running the thing almost called it. He's like, I could see fear in Robert's eyes. I expect him to do something. And they cut to him in there going, oh, my stomach, oh, my stomach.
Did you catch, though, that, like, the other guys were in the C unit, which was like, oh, C unit's not that bad.
Yeah.
But then they threw Robert in the D unit, which was like the bad unit, you know? So
I didn't, until they had put that one group into both, I didn't realize that distinction.
Yeah.
Even they were like, whoa, this is worse. They were just about and I kind of felt bad for them. They were just about getting comfortable in there. And, you didn't see the most recent one, did you, with Barbara's husband? She's been trying to talk to her husband on the phone. She's the real young one that,
has no reason to be there. The only reason I think she's there is to like show her husband what it's like, because he's a veteran or whatever. He goes over.
He was kind of a jerk to her, and she was like, "Could you put some money on?" Because they get charged for their phone calls. She's like, "Could you put some money so I can talk on the phone?" And he was like, "I just put money on there," and she's like, "Yeah, honey, but it's 25 cents a minute. We burn through it real quick on the phone." And he goes, "Well, don't call so much." I was like, you jerk, man. But they kind of softened up on him a little later. Don't call so much, he said. I mean, like, it shocked me. But apparently he's not having a good time dealing with her being in there, and that's kind of how he's reacting.
Yeah.
Because they showed he sent her a video later, and, he kind of, okay, I see. He's just not,
not handling things very well.
It's coming from a place because he misses her and he don't know how to deal with it and all that. Yeah. So, I watched 2 movies I'm going to recommend. They're on Netflix. And this is not often. I don't watch a lot. I watch a lot, but I don't watch a lot of good ones. Mm-hmm. One was called Hush, and it is oddly enough, I think there was one many years ago with Gwyneth Paltrow maybe that was called Hush. This is not that. This is a more recent movie. And it's a cat and mouse home invasion, killer on the loose kind of movie where the target or the victim is a deaf girl. She's a writer, but she's deaf, so she can't hear the guy coming. So she kind of has to adapt and use her resources to one up him. And once we're aware of what's happening, and he's on the outside of the house, and his intent is to get in and do her harm, he even tells her, "I can come in anytime I want. Now we're just going to play a game," So you get that cat and mouse. That is not an original idea. There's a whole lot of movies kind of like that, but this one was done really well.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to check it out.
It's on Netflix. It's called Hush, and just an indie thriller, but just really done well. Really done well. With the girl being deaf, the way they use that as a device is very clever. And she's very smart and very capable. He finds out very quickly. The idea is, well, this will be easy. I can make an easy victim out of her. And he figures out real quick that she hears in her head, and she's a writer. And she tells her friend early on when she's writing her books that she sees in her mind many and every possible outcome, like how her story could end. She sees them all. So she hears this voice in her head, and the voice sounds like her mother, because that's the last voice because her friend asked her, said, because she lost her hearing when she was a child from encephalitis, maybe something like that. She got sick and lost her hearing. And she says, is the voice you hear in your head, does it sound like a child? Does it sound like your voice as a child? And she says, no, I hear my mother's voice. And it's just moments like that. It's an entire movie of moments like that. So throughout the movie and toward the end, when she's trying to outsmart the guy, you hear the voice in her head, which is the voice of her mother, and it's saying, it's giving her all these scenarios. Okay, I can go over here and do that, but if I do this, that'll happen. And then it kind of fades in and out. Really well made for an indie movie. Very smart. And the other one was, it's called LFO, which is for low frequency oscillation. And the premise of this one is this guy who's kind of an audiophile and a sound nerd, and he's also crazy.
Yeah.
He stumbles across
They usually are.
Yeah, he stumbles across a frequency or a combination in LFO that hypnotizes people. Like when it plays out loud, people that hear it are open to hypnotic suggestion. And he gets some new neighbors, invites them over, turns this on, and then just basically imagine being able to control people around you. The premise is far out, and it goes to some wild places. If you think about a crazy, lonely, insecure man and what he could do if he's able to control other people, especially his neighbors, they become sort of like pets. They really do.
Like his own Sims. Like
Yeah, exactly. That is a perfect analogy. They come over for coffee. He plays the tone, and they get hypnotized. And he'll be like, "You're going to clean my house. You're going to wash my windows from top to bottom." They're like, "Okay." And they get up. They're cleaning his whole house. He turns it off, and they go back home and don't remember anything. And then he'll do it again, and just stuff like that. And it goes to some far out places, man.
Does that work on husbands and stepsons too?
Yeah.
Let's get that.
Yeah. I'm already hypnotized by love.
Oh, sure.
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't play with our minds like that. That's awful.
Just to get some help around the house? Oh, yeah. I'd probably do that.
You don't get any help around the house.
with great power comes great responsibility.
Well,
Oh, I'd
anyway,
be responsible.
We're not going to get in there. Enough of that. We're not going to start keeping score here in front of the public. Well, all right. That's us. Fresh from the dentist I am. And you can keep me in your thoughts and prayers as I continue to go back to the dentist. And I got to keep going to work in the meantime to pay for it all. So
I do have a political opinion if you want to hear it.
Oh,
sure. Now that we're getting ready to finish, go ahead.
Just going out, everybody is curious about my political opinions.
I'm sure they are.
'Cause I was quiet.
both of the people that are listening really are.
I don't make fun of you.
That's what they've
I
been.
don't.
That's what they've been waiting for this whole time.
They
Finally.
have.
Finally.
They saw how quiet I was, and I was
Okay,
thinking,
all right.
and I was being.
You have the floor. Okay. You have the floor.
Okay, so Donald Trump. We've been talking about how he's such a joke, and here's the joke. He's actually secretly a Hillary Clinton supporter, and so he's messing up the Republican vote in order to get all the votes to go to Hillary. So when she's voted in, he'll go, "Ha ha! I was just kidding. I wasn't really running for
It's a
president."
conspiracy theory.
It is. It's a conspiracy.
Okay. Is that it? Is that it?
Those are my political views. You just wait. Just wait. When it happens, you're going to be like, wow.
Okay.
To that,
Should we put some money on that?
I'll say this. I have a similar theory about someone else. Kanye West. I have this idea. It's not. I don't really believe it, but I want to believe it because I think if this is true, it'll be the most amazing thing that has ever been done, ever. That I want to believe that he is in fact like an Andy Kaufman style performance artist, and that everything we've seen from him has been, even the I'm broke and begging for money, and because it's so outrageous that one day we're going to get the rug pulled out from under us. And he's going to reveal himself to have been like Andy Kaufman, and the whole thing has been some entertainment, performance art, social experiment.
Right.
And he's like, and people actually bought my records. And I mean, did you see him on Saturday Night Live this last time?
I didn't see that.
It's like he's trying to see how far he can push the joke. How far will people go with me before they say the emperor has no clothes?
Yeah.
How outrageous can I be? And the fact that people continue to go and continue to go, I think there will come a day and he'll reveal himself and he'll go, actually.
Let's take it one step further. What if he's not a real person? What if he's like a computer program that just puts him up there on the...
He'll come up one day and he'll go, actually, folks, he's like, my name is Marquez Waldencraft. I was born in Orange County, California. I'm a performance artist. I'm actually, I'm 10 years older than I've said I am. And that we'll find out the whole thing has been a lifelong. Yeah. Imagine that. Something that went on for the entirety of someone's life. I mean, we'd all stand up and applaud.
I grew up in private school. My first car was an Acura.
Go, you, sir. And he's been telling us all along, I'm the greatest entertainer of all time. I'm the greatest. And like that day will come when he'll go, I told you.
I am the greatest.
You've been watching the show for years. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's true. I think he's probably
I think he's
real.
a jerk. Yeah.
Kanye. I'm going to edit that part out, though, about Kanye. I don't want anybody. I'm unsure about it. And just on the off chance that, the history of race in this country is so fraught with, it's fraught.
F-R-A-U-G-H.
It's fraught.
Yeah.
It's fraught. And because it's so fraught, I don't want anybody to fret.
Yeah. Don't fret over it being fraught.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll consider it. But I understand there was no offense intended. All right. We'll bring it home for today, and I guess we'll see you on the other side of the dentist and maybe the other side of Civil War. Will we have time to we'll get one in? No, I don't know.
I don't think so. We'll
be right on the bubble. I don't know if we'll get one in before Civil War or not. So
we should do it we should do it after.
Yeah. We
should take notes during the movie this time, so we can go back.
Yeah, because I listened to our Batman Superman show, and there was a couple things I think you were right and I was mistaken about, and either way.
What was that? I heard that I was right and Dave was wrong.
I I can make a mistake. It's happened once before.
It happens all the time to me. Usually it's my 9-year-old.
Do you guys have that impression of me? Do I not usually admit to being wrong?
It's so rare for me to be right about something and somebody else be wrong.
Okay. Oh, what a nice way to turn it. No, it's because I'm so rarely wrong. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll see you on the other side of Civil War. That's awesome. Oh, I just got excited again. Yay. It's going to be so awesome. Gretchen's going to take me.
Is she?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For my birthday.
For your birthday?
Yeah. Oh, crap, though. I got that next dentist appointment's the day after, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Look at how quickly I went from joy to deflated.
And that's the root canal.
Okay.
The root of all root canals.
The mother of all root canal
I'll
therapy.
Definitely have to take
root canal therapy.
Root canal therapy. It's going to be so bad. I got to have therapy for it.
It's like some sort of torture device.
I would not pay for that.
Put him on the root canal therapy.
I'd be like,
machine.
no, don't give me root canal therapy.
No, I'm sure that's the common expression for it. So I'll have a full report from that. Hopefully not. I'll be riding high on Civil War, and everything I'm hearing is good. Mm-hmm. Everything I'm hearing is good.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad yet.
And I really am trying to stay away now. Trying to stay off the internet, off Facebook. I don't want to know anything. Mm-hmm. Because I know there's going to be some surprises and stuff I don't want to know. Mm-hmm. I'm not.
Although that trailer you sent me the other day was awesome.
The made up one with it had Forrest Gump in it. Now, have you seen that one? It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
And him playing with the bobbleheads or the Funko pop dolls. That's pretty funny. People haven't seen it, they don't know what we're talking about. All right, I've been trying to get rid of this thing here for 10 minutes now. So all right, we'll see you on the other side of Civil War. I'm Pastor Dave with Gretchen and Randall the Armor Bearer, and we are
They That Believe.